with the names Sam, Ben, and Adam and no context, I was like, I cannot follow anything.
Welcome to Baggage Claim, an unofficial NewlyLag Game companion podcast. We're getting into our off-season, and today we've decided it's finally time to unpack who we are as people and how we started making this show. Next week, we're going to start rewatching Season 2, Circumnavigation, and can't wait to bring you all along with us. I'm Jaya.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Kira.
Casey, what's your tagline for today?
I think that I am a cold bread with cold butter.
Ooh. Kira, how about you?
I think I am apple juice with an ice cube.
I think that I am if your water bottle with a straw exploding after takeoff on a plane was a guy.
That is too accurate, actually.
I think all of these are spot on for us.
If all of us were foods on an airplane, these are correct.
Yes.
Yeah. To kick us off today, I want to recap a bit of how each of us know each other. So in chronological order, Casey, how and when did you meet Kira?
Chronological order is simply so funny. I have known Kira for her entire life, but not mine. I first met her when she was born.
Wow!
Oh my god. And for context, I would like to say that you guys are sisters.
Yes,
Yes, we should say that.
So I guess next in chronological order, Casey and I met on the rowing team in college at our small liberal arts school in New England. And we were both from California, so Casey was assigned to be my big on the rowing team because you were a year above me. And we were pretty frequently in the same boat as each other. It was a blast.
Because we both were kind of good.
Yeah, we were both good at rowing, and so I was your coxswain, and it was great. And I, while thinking about this, made a quick little list of some of my favorite shenanigans that we got up to. And these include having a sleepover at my parents' house in the summer, the same night that my grandmother tried to give my sister the birds and the bees talk.
That was beautiful.
So funny.
Making a Chris Fleming DePiglio meme on the plane back to SFO in March 2020 after getting kicked off campus.
Literally, what's up, DePiglio?
Literally, what's up, DePiglio? Us wearing a mask on the plane for the first time. And yelling across the dining hall at each other to find out the luminosity of the sun. And finally, Kira, how did we meet?
I think we met when Casey and I were both interested in playing D&D, and you had played before, and so you heroically offered to DM for us and a couple other mutual friends. And then that group sort of morphed into our current group, which Casey is DMing a sort of Arthurian modern corporate campaign that we've been playing. And so that has solidified the chatting regularly and has maintained our friendship.
I love our corporate girl boss campaign so much.
So great.
I feel like that's a great recap. Yeah, you guys are sisters. Casey and I were in boats together, and then Kira and I were brought together by the glorious game that is Dungeons and Dragons. And finally, for our title, normally I would come up with one, but Casey had a perfect one, and we all just agreed with it. So Casey, what's our title for this episode?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
A perfect title.
Yeah, a perfect vine. And with that, Kira, I'll pass it to you for the Strat Chat?
Welcome back to the Chit Chat, our segment where we break down the strategy and trajectory of how we got into jet lag. So, Jaya, do you want to get us started with how you first found jet lag?
I would love to. So I have been watching Half as Interesting and Wendover videos since like 2021, 2022, and YouTube really wanted me to watch jet lag. Like, it kept pushing the first episode of Circumnavigation to my feed for months to years. It was a long time. And I didn't believe it. I was like, whatever. I didn't click on one until it pushed me Battle for America in late 2023. And so then the first season that I watched while it was airing was Arctic Escape. But then I stopped watching for a couple months in early 2024 after a death in the family. But then I just needed something to do with my time. And so I absolutely devoured the rest of the season. And so that, like, 2024 spring era, I really associate with watching all of jet lag. But this whole time, I was only ever able to get one of my friends mildly interested in jet lag, and that was my partner Maddie, because I made them watch all of New Zealand with me when they were visiting one time. And they were like, that's fun. That's cool. I'm so glad you like this so much. Until I remembered that Casey had been trying to get me into Taskmaster for like 3 years now.
Yes!
And realized that you guys would be the perfect victims. And so after a D&D session one day, I was like, have either of you heard of NewlyLag the Game? It's like if The Amazing Race was combined with Taskmaster. And then I was also like, it was on Dirty Laundry on election night, and that's what I did at 1 a.m. after people went home, and the rest is history.
A beautiful tale.
That is a beautiful tale. I do remember the moment that you told us about jet lag, because I think I didn't really understand.
Your guys' eyes lit up harder than I have seen you light up about anything that I've said. Have you guys heard of this thing before about?
Well, I feel like the tagline of Amazing Race meets Taskmaster. I was like, that's fascinating.
It's so you guys. I can't believe I hadn't told you about it yet.
I don't think I fully understood it, and I also don't think that they were doing trailers for the early seasons. And so I remember right after you told us about it, we
I think
got
I just dropped an episode in the chat.
I think immediately I turned on episode 1 of Battle for America, and you know how normally it takes you a couple episodes to get into a new show. People are like, oh, do you just have to watch through season 3? I think within the first 5 minutes, I was like, oh, so this is a perfect show. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember watching all of Battle for America before I think Casey started watching it.
Well, what I will say is I think that you watched maybe a few seasons before I had time to start watching. And I say this so respectfully, but receiving a bunch of texts with the names Sam, Ben, and Adam and no context, I was like, I cannot follow anything that, these names are all interchangeable for me and I do not understand what is going on. So I did eventually start by watching Battle for America because both Jaya and Kira recommended I start there. And I was flying back home for the holidays from DC, and I think I downloaded the first 2 episodes of Battle for America, and I was like, this will be fine. I'll watch 1 or 2 of the episodes on the airplane. I have other movies and shows downloaded. I have some books downloaded, whatever. And then I watched the first 2 episodes on the plane within the first hour, and I was like, well, I really wish I'd had the foresight to download any of the other episodes of this show, because now I'm just sitting here wanting to keep watching. But then it was the holidays, and, I slowly finished watching the season, but then Kira and I, in classic sister fashion, sat our mom down, and we were like, this is going to be our January family viewing.
And she loved it. And then I flew back to the UK, which is where I'm living, in January. Had the worst physical jet lag of my entire life.
No.
I could not get on the right time zone. And then also part of that was that I arrived and then immediately hurt my back so badly.
No.
I don't know what happened. But
That's devastating.
I couldn't move. I was in excruciating pain, which meant that I couldn't be active during the day in order to get on the right sleep schedule. I was just lying there staring at the ceiling being like, this is the worst day of my life. And so I would wake up at 4 a.m. being like, I guess I'll just watch all of Australia season for jet lag. And so in that way, jet lag really, the show really brought me comfort while I was experiencing truly the most horrific physical jet lag experience of my life.
Well, and what I will also say is in late January 2025, I fled DC for reasons.
Yes.
I came to visit Jaya, and we watched literally so much jet lag, and it was so healing.
It was incredible weekend.
It was awesome. I feel like I live in DC. I work in clean energy and transportation. You could fill in the blanks there. I super needed some escape And I feel like this just really
so
filled that niche. And then we all watched Schengen Showdown together, obviously.
And Casey said, hey guys, hear me out.
And I watched the first episode and I was like, the strategy in this was making me go crazy. All I want to do is talk to you both about the strategy of this. And then I was like, what if we did a podcast where we talked about the strategy of this season? And here we are.
Let me just look at the first page of our enormous Google document. The first thing is name brainstorming.
Should we share some of my bad name brainstorms?
Oh, please, yeah.
Because I think I sat down for like 20 minutes and just...
You had some great names.
Listed a lot of them. I thought... the first one being jet slags. I was thinking like, transportation related phrases. Mm-hmm. So the quiet car, I thought,
I like the quiet car.
But then we're really talkative, so that didn't really work out. And then I was
thinking, the point of a podcast is to be not quiet.
And then I was thinking a play on the layover and having no layover, so I was like direct nonstop, but that wasn't really.
That one.
I liked the concept of it, but I think it didn't land because just saying like nonstop podcast, you don't think of nonstop flights first.
Exactly. Yeah, like something with takeoff or landing, final boarding, frequent flyer, red eye, which I don't think would have landed at all.
The red eye would have been like, is this a medical podcast about having pink eye?
Literally.
The sleeper train was really good too. The sleeper train, I think flight crew and the quiet car were my favorites that we didn't use.
But I do think baggage claim, I'm glad we did that one. I think such a great part of jet lag is that it can appeal to people for all different reasons, where some people are there for the travel, some people are there for the gamification and the competition, and some people are there for more like the bits and the player antics. What kind of viewer do you think both of you are?
I like this question a lot, and I think this is really hard because I love watching for all of the travel, the game, and the antics, and I've enjoyed all of the seasons that are heavier on different things. But I think my favorite seasons are all the really gamey ones, like Hide and Seek, New Zealand, and Australia. And then the ones that I've rewatched the least are the very travel priority ones, like Circumnavigation and the tags. And so I think if I were to rank game, antics, and travel of like which things I tend to enjoy the most, it would first be game and game design, and then antics and interactions, and then travel. I like travel as a format for the other two, but without the travel, it would probably still be a fun show for me.
I think when I was first thinking about this question, I also was inclined to put travel at the lowest, even though I do enjoy that piece. Like, there's a reason I watch this and not, like, a lot of the other reality game shows that don't have travel as an aspect. But I do think that... Like, if I have to be true to myself, I think that the antics are what really clicked for me. I think I really enjoyed the different personalities and, like, the game and travel as structure to see those relationships build over seasons. And I agree, I really like the gamey seasons. But then when I took a step back, I was like, the seasons that I do rewatch the most are very travel-y seasons. So I do think that ultimately, like... The reason I like the show is because it does touch on all of these pieces.
That's so interesting to me because I think that I would rate travel as my number one, where when I think about the seasons that I like the most, they're the ones that show the most of the places that they're in. So they're the ones that have the greatest, like, diversity of scenery and the ones where they're, like, interacting with the environment the most. I think that part of it is just that I tend to like the antics and I tend to like the game design. And so those two are less important to me because even if it's, like, I really like Connect 4, even though it's a very simple game. But I like the game of it. The thing that I like the most about it, though, is that you get to see the country and you get to see the antics. And so I care less about the game design because I'm kind of like, you can do a boring game and I'm still gonna like it. And so I think that I would rate, for me, like, travel would be number one. I like seeing the places. Player antics would be number two. And then the only reason that game is number three is because I'm just not that picky with it. Like, I think I'm just going to like it. It's like how if you buy a grocery store cake or a really fancy cake, I'm going to be
You
like...
have cake either way.
Right, like it tastes like cake. I'm going to like it.
I love that all three of us have a different number one reason we like
Yeah, that worked out really
That's
nicely.
really funny. That makes
It's
a
a
lot of
versatile
sense
show.
in context, actually.
And that's why it's a perfect show.
It is a great show. Well, with that, I will pass things over to Casey.
Thanks, Kira. So I have a little game that we're going to play. I'm calling it the NewlyLag Game. I have some jet lag centric questions and some general questions that I'll ask, and we will see who knows each other the best. What's Jaya's favorite season of jet lag?
Okay, I have a guess.
What's your guess?
I think it's Hide and Seek Japan.
That's what I was going to say as well.
You are both correct. It's Hide and Seek Japan.
Yay!
And my second favorite is New Zealand.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
What is Kira's favorite season of jet lag?
I think your first might also be Hide and Seek Japan, and I want to say your second is Tag 2.
I think I'm going to guess number 1, New Zealand. Number 2, Tag 2.
Okay, I think that my answer is number 1 New Zealand, number 2 Hide and Seek Japan.
Oh.
That's what I
okay.
was thinking of.
What's my favorite season of jet lag?
This I feel very confident about.
I feel not confident in the slightest. Casey, I'm gonna go out on a limb for you and stop guessing Hide and Seek Japan, but that might be a mistake. I'm gonna say Tag 2 and Arctic Escape.
I'm gonna say first is Arctic Escape, second is New Zealand.
Kira is 100% correct.
Oh, yeah.
What season of jet lag would Jaya most want to compete in?
I think it's New Zealand.
I also think it's New Zealand.
It is New Zealand.
Yeah.
I think I'd be so good at that.
What season of jet lag would Kira most want to compete in? I'm going to kind of go out on a limb here and say Schengen Showdown.
Ooh.
I was considering Battle for America, so I think like one of the Claimer style games. I'm not certain which one it would be. You know?
Or wait, no, can I change my answer? I think it's Connect 4.
Ooh, then I'm gonna say Schengen Showdown.
I was gonna say New Zealand also because I love to snorkel.
Ooh.
Fair.
But honestly,
Okay, yeah.
the ones that you've listed, I would love to do.
All right, and what season of jet lag would I most want to compete in?
This is tricky for me. I don't have an immediate answer.
Casey, I'm gonna say Arctic Escape for you. I think you'd be good at that.
I was also gonna say
Thank
Arctic
you.
Escape because I feel like you've talked about wanting to go on an overnight train.
I do want to go on an overnight train, but I think I would also say New Zealand. It just
It
looks so
looks like
fun.
it was fun.
And we simply love a road trip.
We love a road trip.
I do think that I would really enjoy Arctic Escape as well.
Yes.
What location that they visited in jet lag does Jaya most want to go to?
This is such a hard question.
I'm going to guess both of your answers. I think
Okay.
one of them is New Zealand, and I think that one of them is South Korea.
I was gonna say New Zealand number 1, Japan number 2.
Ooh. Both of you extremely good guesses. I had New Zealand number 1 and Alaska number 2.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's
But South
great.
Korea was a very close third.
Yes, that feels right.
Okay, so both
That
of
is
you
really
get a point.
good.
What location that they visited in jet lag does Kira most want to go to? I have a guess, but I don't think it's correct in that Kira will say it, but I think that it's correct in Kira's heart.
Well, that's so hard for me because now I feel like I have to get it right.
I'm going to guess Slovenia, which I think that it is correct even if Kira did not write it down. And I'll say Belgium.
I was gonna say either Slovenia or Slovakia, like one of the Eastern Europe ones, but I couldn't pick one. And Japan. Let me just pick an Eastern Europe one. I don't want to also say Slovenia, but I think Casey's definitely correct. I'm gonna say Lithuania and Japan.
Nice. I was gonna say Slovenia, and I'm gonna say Slovenia. I didn't have Slovenia in my head because I was looking to see whether they had been there, and I thought they hadn't been there, but Slovenia was the one that I was looking for, so I'm gonna say that that's correct.
I knew it.
So my two
Damn it.
answers are Slovenia and Mexico.
Oh, because they went to Cancun.
They went to Cancun. I don't know that I would want to go to Cancun because I'm not really a resort person, but I would love to go to Mexico.
That's such a good shout.
Thank you.
What location that they visited in jet lag do I most want to go to?
Ooh, I have my answer. I'm throwing this answer down the drain, but I do feel obligated to say it.
I'm gonna say South Korea.
Vatican City.
I should have said Liechtenstein.
Oh, Vatican City, honestly, I do want to go there. And the true answer in my heart is Buc-ee's. But the answer I had in my head was South Korea.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
A point.
All right, so now moving into our general questions. Where is Jaya's favorite place they've traveled?
I'm gonna say North India.
I think I'm going to, and I don't know specifically, but I think I'm going to go with somewhere in the Pacific Northwest.
Ooh, I like both of your answers. It is going to be South India.
No!
I almost said South India. No! I literally almost said it. Where is Kira's favorite place she's traveled?
I'm gonna guess Peru.
I'm gonna guess Australia.
Ooh, Jaya was really close, but I would say Nicaragua. But I also think that it is similarly because I had the most fun there because both of those trips were for school, but my Peru trip was like a language trip in high school, whereas my Nicaragua trip was like hiking active volcanoes and doing indigenous pottery in like cultural reclamation movements. So like that, it was...
Stop. Wait, I want to take your itinerary.
Where is my favorite place I've traveled?
This is hard for me.
I either want to say Greece or Australia with literally no reason.
I don't know.
I'm going to say Australia, but I feel like it might be Ireland also.
I'm going to say Greece because I think that at the time it was like absolutely top of your bucket list.
So both of you are like close, I guess. Like, I definitely think Greece is one of my favorite places I've traveled, but I fear that I semi-tricked you in that I would say Scotland, but I did live there.
I almost said Scotland.
I was going to say that.
I was so close to saying Scotland, but then I was like, you lived there.
I know that's a hard answer because I did live there. But I would not say Glasgow, which is where I lived. I would say...
I think that's perfect.
Are you the Highlands? Like Isle of Skye?
I would say the Highlands, the Isle of Skye is definitely my favorite place I've traveled.
I was even thinking that, but I was like, does it count that you traveled there? But I guess it does count that you
traveled there. I was so close to saying Scotland.
And I
so
know
upset.
I could see it in both of your eyes. What is Jaya's dream travel destination? I think it's New Zealand.
I mean, I'll also say New Zealand.
First, in front of New Zealand is Iceland.
Ooh, that's a great answer.
What is Kira's dream travel destination? I'll say Costa Rica.
I'm between like Mexico and Brazil.
Ooh. I was gonna say the Galapagos in Ecuador.
Well, you stole mine. I've been talking about how I want to go to the Galapagos since I was 7 years old.
I really want to go.
I mean, obviously that's a great answer, Kira, but now I will have to go with a different answer for mine, which is okay. What is my dream travel destination?
I have an answer that I do think is genuine and authentic, but you're gonna say no for ethical reasons, but I do think it's true.
Ooh, compelling.
Hate that preface. Are you gonna cancel me on this podcast about
No, like I think you
ourselves?
wouldn't go. I think you would not go for ethical reasons. But I do think if there was a way to teleport you there and back, I think that you would want to go.
It's Kira's gonna say the Katy Perry 8 Minutes in Space.
The place you want to go in the world is out of here.
You know what, Casey? I'm saying Thailand.
I am gonna get this wrong, but I have to go from the heart. I'm gonna say Antarctica.
Well, obviously it's Antarctica.
Oh my god!
Right?
Oh shit! Mine is also Antarctica.
Yeah.
Mine is extremely also Antarctica.
I'm so proud of myself.
What is Jaya's favorite soup?
I have one guess, and I have no evidence that you've ever eaten it.
Incredible. I love the confidence.
I'm gonna say carrot ginger.
I'm gonna say minestrone.
Ooh. The two that I was thinking of were a good hearty spicy lentil
Ooh.
or potato leek.
Oh!
Yum.
Well, obviously, potato leek is so good. What is Kira's favorite soup?
Kira, with absolutely no basis, I'm saying borscht.
Great answer.
I'm gonna say chicken noodle.
I was gonna say butternut squash, but a close second I think would be chicken noodle.
What is my favorite soup?
You know, it might just be because I like it so much, but I'm gonna say potato leek.
I'm gonna say, does black bean soup exist?
Oh,
I'm gonna say
ooh, that's a good poll.
I might say first guess black bean, second guess tortilla.
I would say none of those answers are correct, even though I deeply love all of them. Like,
Yes.
I wish that I could have all of these soups right now. I think that my two favorite soups are probably a very good homemade matzo ball soup and a San Francisco New England clam chowder. So New England clam chowder, but in a sourdough bread bowl. Yeah.
That is a really good answer.
We should have gotten that. That's embarrassing.
I think we all know each other pretty well. I think Kira and I definitely, due to our shared sisterhood.
Yeah.
We
have
got
the
it.
sisterhood of the traveling soups.
Yeah, but I think we know each other pretty well. So with that, I will hand things back over to Jaya.
So we usually end our episodes with a Bud Thorn, and so what I want to ask you guys is just about your week, or about how it's been going recently. What's your regular, real-life Bud and Thorn? Casey, why don't you start us off?
Okay. My rose is that last night I saw a wonderful play here in DC. It was a one-woman musical comedy show about fertility and about this woman's journey to having a baby. I thought it was awesome.
So
it was really funny and deeply moving. My thorn is that 'tis the season for torrential downpours, and the humidity is making my hair behave in a way that just is horrendous. And my bud is that I think that this is the week where I try an oyster for the first time. I'm dedicated to making it happen.
Are you eating it cooked or raw?
I think I'm going to try raw, and I think there's really no world in which I enjoy the experience. But
I also want to try it for the experience, and I think there's no way I'll like it.
But I'm going to do it anyway.
You're so brave.
Excited for you.
Kira, how about you?
My rose is that I'm currently reading this, like, modern feminist translation of Beowulf, where the
the
first line is bro, and it's so awesome. And so
Wait, I want to read that.
That's sort of my rose for the week.
It's genuinely so good, Jaya. I think you would really
actually
enjoy it.
Phenomenal. My thorn is pretty similar to Casey's thorn, although we are across the wide ocean. But I was going to go to the pool yesterday, and instead it was pouring rain and so gray and cloudy that it actively made the sky dark, and so I could not go to the pool. But my bud is that I just got tickets to go see the 12th Night performance in the park tomorrow, so I'll be seeing that.
Exciting.
Yeah. My rose is your guys' thorn. 'Tis the season for torrential downpours, and I love summer thunderstorms so much. Everybody I've ever lived with thinks I'm a little insane, because if it's hot and it's raining, I will be going outside and just standing in it for a while. And then I'm gonna, like, go inside and change my clothes. But oh my god, I love standing in, like, a hot summer thunderstorm.
That's
You're
awesome.
bonkers.
My thorn is a silly one, but I didn't watch a stream of the My Chemical Romance concert last night because I wanted to sleep, but then I ended up not being able to sleep anyways, and I missed them playing Boy Division, and I'm sad about it because I love Boy Division, and they played that at the show that I went to in Raleigh, and it's a great song. And my bud is that I made a shirt, and I'm really excited to wear it this week.
Like,
That's
from
awesome.
scratch?
Yeah, like I sewed it.
Whoa!
That's so cool.
I just have to finish putting the sleeves on.
That's awesome.
And with that, thank you for waiting at Baggage Claim. Let us know your thoughts on socials at baggageclaimpod or over email, which is in the episode description. If you're enjoying the show, please leave us a comment or give us a follow. We'll see you next week at the Baggage Claim at SFO that I have a great photo of Casey standing in front of, pointing at the box of tuna salad in the vending machine nearby. Goodbye!
Goodbye!
We're gonna start putting secret messages for Sam in the baggage claim intros.
If you play our podcast backwards, it's like John Lennon died. I guess he did.